Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to your November 2024 tarot card reading. Now, before we get started, I wanted to let you know I'm running a special on my 2025 year ahead overview readings. So if you wanted to go ahead and get that on the books, these are going to be live Zoom sessions with me and you, so we can sit down together and really talk about the transits that are coming up. We'll pull a bunch of tarot cards just to give you an idea of what the year ahead is going to look like. So all the information will be in the description box and the pinned comment thread down below. So if you want to go ahead and book that, I would love to meet you. So let's go ahead and get started here with an oracle card. So Sagittarius, what is it that you need to know for November 2024? Starting with hunger. Okay, I love that, because hunger often creates a drive and it creates a lot of ambition, because, when you're hungry for something, there's really not a lot you wouldn't do. There's energy there, there's passion there, there's kind of a need, or even maybe for some of you, a sense of survival. Like, you really have to go after it. So when it comes to your goals and just kind of the life that you're wanting to lead, the lifestyle that you want to lead, this is a time where you can make major strides. And I think Scorpio season in general, and even on into Sagittarius season, happy birthday to all the November Sagittarians out there, by the way. I think during Scorpio season, there's a lot of kind of linear, straightforward energy. So we're not convoluting everything with all these different detours and all these different options. It's more like, well, if I want to go there, then there are certain things that I need to do in order to get there, and it's a straight line. So we don't have to be so circuitous in our path right now. So what else does Sagittarius need to know for November? Work through your fears. Okay, so there might be stuff that comes up, right? Maybe the reason why you're at where you're at is because you've been hesitant and fearful or insecure to make those big leaps of faith that are required to get you there. This is not a time to be held back by fear. I think Scorpio season can often bring a lot of that stuff up, but it's not meant to come up to be a problem, right? It's meant to come up so that we can either deal with it or heal from it or just act in spite of it. We can have fear and be conscious of our fear, but it doesn't have to stop us. And I think right now, Sagittarius, with that hunger card, I think your hunger is a lot more prominent than your fear. And the hunger is the very thing that is going to get you through your fears. Okay, so let's see what comes through here with the tarot cards. What else does Sagittarius need to know for November 2024? Six of Cups. Hold on, we're not going to take all those. We're just going to reshuffle, pull one more card, like that one, and the Sun. Okay. So Six of Cups, there's a very gentle quality with the Six of Cups. Now, I am kind of feeling like there's either an emotional connection or a friend or someone that is in your life that is likely going to offer you something. Now, the Six of Cups isn't necessarily an offering, but there does seem to be a pleasant exchange, okay? And usually that exchange is rooted in love and caring and nurturing, and there's kindness there. So there's a lot of goodness with the Six of Cups. And this is a relationship that maybe you can lean on as you know that there are things that you're going to have to tackle that are going to be kind of challenging. These kinds of relationships can really motivate us and help us to feel secure. And there can be a lot of support. We need support. We need support when we're doing things we've never done before. So it's okay to lean on those people. I often see a lot of gift giving with the Six of Cups as well. Now, it might be that someone actually gives you some type of a gift, or it might be the universe kind of gives you a gift as well. And that maybe an opportunity presents itself that is very easy. That's, again, gentle is really the word that I'm hearing with this Six of Cups. It's not some big dramatic thing. It's something you can easily receive. Likely it will be in line with the very ambitions that you are so hungry for. So there does seem to be alignment. But I'm looking at this Nine of Wands and I'm seeing either hesitation or resistance or caution or skepticism. And I think skepticism is actually the word that's sticking out the most. And I think that's because the Six of Cups, like, it's too easy. So whatever this opportunity is, it might immediately set you on this, like, well, why is this coming in now? Why is this person saying this right now? Why is this offer coming in? It all feels a little too good to be true. Like, it seems like you're not really going to believe it. I think you want to believe it, but you're kind of like, I don't know. There's something off-putting about it. But I think the off-putting is, it's not really that there is anything off-putting. It's just that you don't have to fight for it all that much. So you're like, well, wait, I thought I was going to have to work really hard for that. I thought I was going to have to do all these things and jump through all these hoops and do all these things in order to achieve it. And now you're just plopping it in my lap or giving it to me on a silver platter. Something's a little bit suspect here. So this is you, I think, analyzing and vetting. But I don't think you're going to come to the conclusion that there is anything shady going on, because that's not what the Six of Cups is. There's nothing shady with the Six of Cups ever. So I think whatever's coming your way and the people in your life, there is truth and, a genuineness there. The support that you're getting is very genuine. The love is very genuine. Everything feels like real and authentic. And it just might be that because of your past life experience that you're a little like, I don't know. But I think once you figure it out, once you realize, okay, this is real, this is good, this is something that I can accept, and there is no threat here, then that sun energy comes out and you're like, okay, well, wow, like, this is great. Now I can move forward and I can express myself and I can be creative and I can really follow my spirit and let my heart lead right now. And again, you don't have to fight. There's definitely no fight with the Sun card at all. I'm seeing a lot of self-expression coming from Sagittarius right now. We do have your ruling planet, by the way, Jupiter retrograde opposite of you. So I do think that Jupiter energy kind of casts its light onto your sign by opposition. So you are receiving a lot of Jupiterian qualities right now. And because of the retrograde motion, there is an internalization of that Jupiterian energy as well. Now, keep in mind that we also have Saturn stationing direct, and we also have Pluto finally moving into Aquarius for the last and final time. So never ever to return back into Capricorn ever again in this lifetime. So, we're definitely feeling a turnaround with things. A lot of things are turning around. A lot of things are changing. The landscape is evolving. And that's another one of the reasons why you can take this Six of Cups and say, okay, this might actually be something good. Maybe it is time for me to have something really good. Maybe it is time for me to have a blessing. Maybe it is time for me to get that break that I was hoping for and I've been working for, and I've been, this is that time. So I think that's great. That's great. Let's see what else comes out. Four of Wands. Five of Swords. And the Knight of Swords. Okay. So there does seem to be something very distinct happening in your reading. Now we're going to have another row of cards, but with these 6 cards alone, I'm feeling like this column is one thing, this column is another, and then this column is another thing. So we have like really 3 kinds of things going on. So in this column, this is where the goodness is. This is where the ease is, the love, the support. Of course, the Four of Wands is an indication of stability and security. And it can mean more so like security in your situation. So maybe there's some financial elements to that too. There's definitely emotional elements. So financial and emotional security. There also is kind of a sense of belongingness here with the Four of Wands too. So with that Six of Cups, it might be that you kind of get invited to a new group, or there's some kind of an event that you'll love to be a part of. There's some kind of gathering or something like that that I think you'll really, really enjoy. And there's a lot of happiness there. Of course, the Four of Wands can be everything from just kind of a family get together to a big music festival or something like that. So if you do have an opportunity to go to something where people with shared interests are gathering, please go, because that support can be extremely motivating and inspiring, and it can feed your hunger even that much more, especially if you see people achieving the very things that you hope to achieve for yourself, especially when you can look at others and say, well, they've done it, I guess I can do it too. Again, there does seem to be a gentleness and an ease with some aspect of your life here. You really don't need to be fighting against that in any capacity. This is something good that the universe is trying to give you to kind of help you launch into this new era. So you don't want to fight against the good stuff and just say, this is good, it feels right, it makes me happy, it inspires me, and I'm not going to let my fears poison this. Okay, we're not trying to poison all that good stuff. Not that I normally see Sagittarians do that, but there does seem to be something going on with this Five of Swords. So now with the Nine of Wands, with the Five of Swords underneath, so this is your caution, skepticism, hesitance, and whatnot. Now, this one does, there's two different layers that we could talk about here. On one hand, it could be your own internal dialogue. It could also be your doubts, that kind of thing. The repetitive voice inside your head that says, nope, this isn't real. I don't like this. I'm not good enough. I don't deserve it. Da, 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 da. Okay? That's one level. The other level is that you might be dealing with other people. Now, these people feel really different than these people. Okay, it's like two distinct groups, two distinct areas. These people are maybe a little bit more on that negative side. These are people that will fight for the sake of fighting. They'll play the devil's advocate. They'll kind of pick at little scabs. They'll kind of point out things that maybe don't really make you feel all that great. And, there's typically no winning here. Okay, there's no win. Like, you can argue all day long, but at the end of the day, no matter how right you are, it doesn't even matter, because being right isn't really what's going to win this argument, right? There's just an energy thing of people who just want to fight, or people who want to cause problems, or people who don't want to solve their problems. And there's no way to win there. Like I say, you can be right all day long, but being right doesn't mean anything. Okay, you might be battling against people who just have something set in their mind that you think you could change, based on logic, and it just can't, okay, because they're not in a logical place. And so there's no winning there. And I really hope you don't have to engage in that. I hope you don't have to be around people like that. But in case you are, this is going to make the good stuff even that much more shiny and sparkly, and even that much more encouraging. Okay, and I think it's going to even feed that hunger even more, because this is going to be a place where you want to be. It's going to be with people that you want to be with. People that lift you up, that make you laugh, that, inspire and motivate you, all those wonderful words. And this is just energy that tears you down. But this might be the energy that you're used to, which is why you're kind of so skeptical of that Six of Cups to begin with. You're like, wait a second, I don't understand why, I don't understand why I'm skeptical of this good thing. Oh yeah, it's because you're so used to the fight. You're so used to the battle. You're so used to the hunt and trying to figure out what's wrong and all of that. And the Five of Swords is probably remnants of that Pluto in Capricorn era since 2008. One of the things that I talked about in September, when Pluto went back into Capricorn in the first place, was that we were going to have this recurrence, or this kind of sense of something was trying to revive itself, a lot of stuff from the past coming back out. And the reason for that was not to resurrect it. It wasn't to bring it back to life. It wasn't to, do the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth chance, right? It was for us to respond differently. It was for us to walk away. It was for us to close the door. And so this might be the very last little bit. And there may still be a little bit as Pluto gets more comfortable in Aquarius over the next couple months. But I think this was the most definitive period of time where, yeah, that energy tries to creep up. Those people try to creep in. Those relationships try to revive themselves. And this is your opportunity to kind of, and I love the Knight of Swords in this reading, because I think this is so pure with the self-expression with the sun. To me, the Knight of Swords as your energy is entirely sure of what he wants. And Sagittarius, I think you are entirely sure of what you want. I think you want this, and you don't want this, right? You want the abundance, you want the prosperity and the love and support, and you don't want the fighting. You don't want the stress. You don't want the strain of difficult personalities, because I don't think that's where you're at. I don't think you're in that place of trying to convince anyone of anything, So here you are kind of running into this Five of Swords, but you're not running in to participate. You're running in to end it. Okay, so I feel like there's even a hunger to eliminate this. And with Scorpio season, especially with 12th house activation, right? You've got not only the sun coming through there, but on November 1st, we have that new moon in Scorpio too. So there's a lot of endings and surrender and loss that happens in the 12th house, not to mention the faction of elimination that Scorpio brings. And I think that Knight of Swords is say, well, if we're going to eliminate, we're going to eliminate, and we're going to do it hard and fast, right? We are going to just sever this relationship, sever this, get rid of it, get it out of our way. Because see, the thing with the sun is that it doesn't handle obstruction very well. When there is some kind of obstacle, that sun just tends to plow through it, okay? Because it's so brilliant, it is so bright, it is so powerful. And if something is trying to get in the way, like, I feel bad for the other person, right? Because when you come out as the sun, the biggest entity in the solar system, huge, massive gravity, all of it, very unlikely that the other entity is going to win in that battle, okay? And you're willing to go to battle because your peace, your serenity, your success, your prosperity, all of that is worth fighting for. So even though you start off a little skeptical, it doesn't mean that you're going to stay skeptical. I think you're going to very quickly get over that and say, okay, well, I accept it. And then the minute you accept it, you start getting these little creepers coming out of the woodwork, and you're like, we can't have any of that. We got to get rid of that as soon as possible. It's like seeing little cockroaches in your house. You're like, oh, I got to call the exterminator. I got to call the bug guys, like, immediately. Like, we can't have this, so you got to get rid of those cockroaches real quick. All right, Sagittarius, what else? We've got the Ace of Swords. Oh, I'm loving all of this, like, passion. Okay, so we've got the Three of Cups. Now, on one hand, because this Three of Cups aligns with this middle column, I'm going to speak to it in kind of a warning way, but in a more positive sense, as it aligns with kind of the Four of Wands, Six of Cups, and the Three of Cups. Again, it's more those positive reinforcement relationships. Okay, these are people that you can go out with, you can laugh with, they lift you up. There's a lot more positivity with these people. So you're going to have to be extremely clear about who brings goodness into your life and who doesn't. Now, I'm not saying everyone has to make you happy, right? Because that happiness really comes from within. But when someone doesn't bring you peace. When someone doesn't bring you good stuff, right? When it's problematic. So you have to be really clear. And I look at this Ace of Swords and I say, well, Sagittarius, you are absolutely going to be really clear, especially in drawing the line. So we've got a very powerful Knight of Swords here rushing in to kind of sever this energy as much as you can. And this is your sense of mental clarity. You don't have to be doubtful. I think there's a little doubt with the Nine of Wands in the beginning, but once you straighten it out, there's no doubt from that point forward. This opportunity is good. This new direction is good. These new people are good. Everything is good. And anything that's, abrasive, it's got to go. Again, I'm not saying your life is going to be perfect. All right. That's not what I'm describing here is your path to perfection or anything like that. It's just what is supportive of the dream and what isn't. And I think you'll know exactly what is supportive of the dream and what isn't. And that's exactly that's the, maybe thinking you need to have in your head is what is supportive of my dream? What is supportive of this lifestyle? What is supportive of this financial gain that I'm hoping to seek? What is supportive and what is not? If there are certain behaviors that you're doing, because I know that sometimes this Five of Swords, it's not always external, it can often be internal as well. If there is some kind of an internal battle, I think this is also you rushing into yourself and saying this has to stop. This behavior can no longer continue. It's very harsh what you're doing here. Like that line that you're drawing is so solid and only a few things are going to make it to your side of the line and everything else is going into the elimination pile. Okay? The Ace of Swords is your clarity. And I think that's a real gift right now to have clarity. Now, just because you have clarity doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be easy. Okay? None of this seems really all that easy. And I think maybe this work through your fears has a lot to do with your fear of how other people are going to respond to your boundaries. How are other people going to respond to your new direction and to what you want? Now, it's not entirely selfish. You're not doing it only for you, but it is something that is for your greater good and therefore the greater good for those that you love and care about. But not everyone is going to be the beneficiary of that. Okay, and I think there are some people that know that. They know that you're going to go on and you're going to do great things and you're going to prosper and they will not be around for it. Okay? Now, on the flip side, and I'm only saying this because this card aligns with this column, sometimes that Three of Cups can get a little gossipy. It can get a little grapeviney, right? Where things get, the little rumor mill, that kind of thing. And there can be a quality of overindulgence with that. This is not a time for overindulgence. This is a time for self-control. Especially Scorpio season. I think we can loosen the reins a little bit in Sagittarius season, but then we're right back to it in Capricorn season. But having a lot of self-control and self-containment is really important. To me, this feels a little loosey-goosey, like people don't really have the boundaries. They're not respecting privacy. They're not respecting secrets. They're not respecting a lot of stuff. So they're just kind of out there running their mouth a little bit. And that's not a good forum either for you to be behaving in, or to be not behaving, but for you to be, participating in. I think the Three of Cups, there can sometimes be a falseness. So sometimes some false friends as well. So you want to be very careful of that. Or people who are, you're just kind of doing the same things. And so there's kind of an acquaintanceship there, but maybe it's not really a super tight circle. So I wouldn't necessarily, I mean, you can go out and mingle and do that kind of stuff, but I don't know that I would recommend like really spending a ton of time with people that you don't know very well. Okay. And I certainly wouldn't tell them a lot of what you have going on, especially if you're kind of not ready for people to know that yet. Finally, we have this Seven of Swords, which is kind of sneaking in, and I really don't think it's you. I'm having a hard time saying that that's your energy when you're coming out with the Sun and the Knight of Swords. We got this Ace of Swords here too. I feel like you're so determined. You've got this hunger. It seems odd to me that you would be doing any kind of self-betrayal or anything like that. I think you have a moment to do that up here and you choose not to. And then from that point on, everything is fine. So this does feel more like someone else. Feels definitely a little shady, but I'm not going to sit here and say that all of you have all these enemies out there, but it does seem like not everyone is going to be happy for you. So you're going to have to contend with that. It does seem like there are people who are willing to kind of take from you. I'm really seeing a lot of selfishness there. There's a lot of sour qualities coming out. So if you have a sour person in your life, I'm not really seeing the exit of this person. We'll see what the clarifiers have to say. But I think it's really annoying that you have to deal with that, especially when you're trying so hard to just embrace all this good stuff. But maybe that's what's happening is you're changing, and by you changing, other people see, oh, I might be losing my Sagittarius. I'm losing them to greater heights. I'm losing them to higher degrees of consciousness, and they're not ready to grow along with you. And that's the problem, right? If they were willing to grow with you, or if they were willing to celebrate you and be happy for you and be your cheerleader, then they would absolutely be in this beautiful Four of Wands, Six of Cups type of place. They'd be in your inner circle. But I just don't think they are. They're not ready for that happiness for someone else because they can't even find that within themselves. And I think it's kind of sad. Maybe you've been there, so maybe you can be empathetic. Maybe this is someone who just sees your success and says, wow, I really wish that I could have that too. And because of that, there's a little jealousy or something like that, which again is not healthy for you to be around. So you need to be quite vigilant, like really vigilant, because some people may surprise you. I'm kind of feeling like you may have some surprise relationships. You're like, wow, I really thought this was different. I thought this was going to go a different way. But again, that's what the Pluto and Capricorn thing is all about, is like we're all moving on. We are all changing. And those of us who are embracing it are going to experience higher degrees of success. Those of us who are not are going to have a really hard time with this transition. And there is going to be a lot of loss that goes on with this, okay? All right, so we're going to pull out the clarifiers, which means we're going to pull out a whole bunch of new cards. We're going to open all these cards up as much as we can. We're going to talk for another 25 to 30 minutes about all these new cards. So if you want to join me for the comprehensive reading, the link will be in the description box in the comment thread down below. So let's see what the Six of Cups brings. What is it that Sagittarius needs to know about this Six of Cups? Page of Wands. Wheel of Fortune. Beautiful High Priestess. We have a beautiful Ten of Coins. A King of Wands. An Eight of Swords. Not surprised by the Eight of Swords. It really matches the Nine of Wands. We have a Seven of Cups. A Moon card. There's the Fear. And we have the Four of Cups. Another Nine of Wands. A Hierophant. Seven of Coins. Now for the Five of Swords. The World. The Page. And the King. Not sure how I feel about that King. There's the Empress. Beautiful. Nine of Coins. Seven of Wands. There's the fight. Eight of Coins. Ace of Cups. Queen of Swords. Three of Coins. Justice. Three of Wands. Okay, I'm not really liking the King of Coins or the King of Swords all that much. So we'll talk about it. All right, Sagittarius, if you want to join, you are more than welcome. Thank you all so much. Have an amazing November, and I'll talk to you soon.